Hi, it's your Sister Unity. It's a week before Thanksgiving, and it's 2 weeks after a significant election, the election of the second term of Donald Trump. And with these two diametrically opposed experiences sort of having me reverberating in the middle as Pluto moves from Capricorn into Aquarius and as Mercury starts to turn retrograde and other things, I just wanted to emphasize two ideas for you. Wanted to make a video, and I have two ideas to offer you. And the first one is Thanksgiving is a great opportunity to remember gratitude. And it may seem corny or trite in the face of the anxieties of today's world. But I am telling you from my own personal experience, the more you can practice gratitude, whether you mean it or you're just going through the motions, practicing it will have a beneficial effect on your mind and your heart, which in turn can have effects on your life. Well, how do you do that? Find something to be grateful about. Some things will end up resonating. My heart has flowed over with emotion times when I started out by saying, wow, I'm really grateful for this person. I'm really grateful for my mother. I'm really grateful for my education. And then once I voiced the thought, the enormity of what that experience that I was talking about was, what it meant to me, filled up my heart to overflowing, brought me to tears. My God, what my mother gave me, how my mother enriched my life, often brings me to tears. So I remember, as I pass by her picture, may she rest in peace, as I pass by her picture, I remember how grateful I am and how much I love her, and how grateful I am to have had her love. And sometimes I overflow, and sometimes it's just a moment. So that's one experience of gratitude. And then there's other times when I know I am running dry. I'm just not feeling it. But I know my life feels like sandpaper from the dryness. So I will find something to be grateful for. I am grateful for World of Warcraft because it has distracted me in times when I was down, and it has been a hell of a lot of fun in times when I was up. I am grateful for the color orange because I'm grateful because I have all 10, thank you, of my fingers. I have done so many weird, fun, creative, uplifting, amazing things with these fingers. That sounds a little hippy-dippy, but it's really true. Have you ever tried to pick up a fork without using a thumb? Have you ever tried to use chopsticks without using a thumb? I'm really glad that I still have these 10 fingers. May I always. I'm grateful for tassels because they're froofy and they feel good on your skin and they're fun and they're elegant as well. Even though these trite things do have an effect, even if they don't break you out in a smile, certainly don't cause your heart to open, blah, 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 still it's worth noting them because the more you do it, the more your brain clicks into the space of gratitude and out of the space of angst and anxiety. And that's the trick. Think positively, fake it till you make it, and eventually the oil of gratitude lubricates the engine and the axles of your mind, your heart, and your life. Gratitude. The other thing is from Taoism. And this I'm saying in context of where society is politically and socially. There is what's happening to the United States government and other governments, and there is how that has affected society. It's very fractured. So many people aren't going home for the holidays, for one side of the question or the other. There are real lunkheads being lunkheaded violently, both verbal violence and physical violence, and that's no good, and it makes the rest of us anxious. I wish I had a balm for you. I've given you one, gratitude can help, but instead what I'm going to give you is one particular line from the Tao Te Ching by Lao Tzu. And it is the line that says, if you know the Tao, you do not know the Tao. If you know the way, if you know the transcendent truth of life, check yourself, because you don't, because it's not knowable. Not that kind of knowing, not intellectual knowing. This is really beautifully written in a crystalline form, poetic form. There's also the Upanishads. There's an Upanishad that says the similar thing. Those who know do not know. Those who do not know, know. And what they're getting at is a state of mind that you can be in. Artists practice it. Theater people, particularly improvisationalists. The most pure form where I've found it is studying in improv. And Viola Spolin's wonderful exercise called ruminating. Look it up in Viola Spolin's book or online. Ruminating. Just, it's a way, it's an exercise that you can experience what the brain can do to go from the knowing state to the not knowing state. But that not knowing state has your mind wide open, and your intuition and your imagination pour forth all of these rich things that come from the very source of you. And when it comes out of that place, it falls together really well. People who write often run dry, and they have this thing, or in theater too, we have this term. People say you're getting up into your head. In East Asia, they have a cultural thing, they say you're overthinking. And it's that thing where the brain is like, okay, I got this. I know. Everyone listen to me. I know how to do this. I know what's going on. And it'll be like, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say that. I'm going to say this because I know. Okay, that's fine. For normal everyday, that works. But once you get it out of the way, once once you trick it into letting go of, relaxing its grasp on you, then there's room for your intuitive mind. And your intuitive mind really works well when the intellectual mind doesn't know. When it is either resting, or it is turned off, or it is confounded. Now, how do you turn a machine off that was built to only run and run fast? The mind was made to think. It always thinks. You give it something to think about that takes you into the place of rest and unknowing, or you confound it. A lot of what I do with Sister Unity is very silly, really absurd, and sometimes people don't get it. And I do it this way because I am trying to offer the opportunity of confounding the intellect so that it trips over itself and falls down and goes to sleep. And then you and I can relate in the I don't know what's going on place, but we're going to have a lot of fun in that place. It's going to be natural and wide open. So, practicing getting into that state is what I'm offering you. It is the antidote to anxiety. It is the opposite from the anxiety place, because it is relaxed and wide open, and anxiety is contracted. You're trying to go here from here. So how do you get there? Practicing an art, as I said. Confound your mind. There are films, there are pieces of music, there are creative things that will help you confound your mind. Take it to another place. Nature. Give yourself over to the experience of being in nature and not trying to tell nature what should happen, but like observing what happens and letting it lead you. It's a shift in your perspective. And I'm being a little abstract here. I should find a way to articulate the experience more exactly. But if you can understand what I'm saying, or if you can try the exercise of what I'm suggesting, you may click into that space. Sometimes it's other people. Sometimes a conversation with someone takes you somewhere you didn't expect. Going somewhere mentally, physically too, but mentally, that you didn't expect is a good way to confound your mind in a way that leads to openness. Going on an adventure. I used to go to a therapy appointment on Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. and then I'd get out at 10. And I'd get in my car at 10 a.m. and I'd say, car, universe, goddesses, show me something I haven't seen before. And I would drive by intuition. I didn't take my hands off the wheel, but I didn't make a plan at all. And I didn't go, oh, if I go here, then I can go there and I can go there. I didn't do that. I was like, show me, show me. And I waited for just like a little nudge, a little impulse, a little inside, a little urge. They'll be like, why don't we take this ramp? You know, you can feel it. There's a difference. You can feel the difference between your mind where it's like, well, if I take this ramp, I might get to this, and this is near Bakersfield, so I could get to Bakersfield. Versus this little like, I'm going to go that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. Do this. If you read Terry Pratchett's books, particularly the ones about Tiffany Aching or Granny Weatherwax, she talks about there's your thoughts, and then there's your second thoughts or your second mind, and then there's your third mind. Those deeper in voices are, I think, what Terry Pratchett is talking about is the intuitive mind, the one that's connected to the divine, the transcendent, or the universe, to be metaphysical. But whatever it is more intuitive. And that is a better place to be when you're trying to respond to crisis, if you can get there. And when you're trying to wrestle with your own feelings that have you upset. 2 things to practice: gratitude and not knowing. Confoundment, not knowing. Be in the place of, I say, be in the place of the I don't know. I hope these are useful. As always, if it's useful to you, take it, use it, try it out, see if it works. If it doesn't, if it's not useful to you, set it aside and just enjoy me for my makeup. Oh, wait, hang on. You look a little dusty. Hang on, let me get that for you. Okay, there you go. Okay, all clean. I'm going to turn off the video now. It's been lovely spending time with you. Happy Thanksgiving.